What's up everybody, Derek here with the Bass Factory, and today I'm going to be going over one of my favorite bass fishing lures and why it gets overlooked a lot of the time, and I don't think a whole lot of people are using it when they're fishing shallow. I used to get laughed at a lot whenever I used to use this lure, especially whenever I would be fishing as a non-boater, and the boater in the front would start laughing at me as soon as I'd start throwing it out. But I didn't care because I would start catching fish, and that is with a bubblegum trick worm from Zoom. I used to love fishing with these, and I learned a little bit about them back in the day, but my problem was I was always missing hook sets with these whenever I would be throwing these. I throw them weightless with a 4/0 wide gap hook, and I would basically just put these things weedless, throw one on, but the problem was I couldn't see it very well as I was working it through the water column, over trees, through grass. I mean, you can pull these things through just about anything. But my problem was I would get a boil on the lure and I wouldn't know that the fish had missed it or it hadn't pulled it in all the way. And it's because I was using other colors that were darker and I couldn't see them. So once I started going with this bubble gum, I could see that thing disappear and get hook sets. And I increased my hook sets by like 75% when I started using this bubble gum. And that's the thing that made people laugh, is I would pull out a pink worm. And I remember fishing in North Texas one time, and the guy said, "You're gonna fish with that up shallow in that grass with that pink worm?" And he just kept throwing his lure out. But the thing was, I was throwing up shallow in the same place as he was. He had already worked through that water, and I would be pulling it through, and then bam, fish on, bam, fish on, bam, fish on. And I've been using this thing through the years in tournaments and other stuff on lakes, especially up shallow, because not a lot of people know to use this thing. All right, what you want to do is you want to take a 4/0 wide gap hook, and you want to take your worm. You just basically slide it on there, and it doesn't really matter how you do it as long as it's straight. Work it about a 1/2 inch in, work it up to the top, and then basically just kind of pull it tight a little bit and find where it's going to be coming out at. It's right there at that ring part. There it is. Pull it up just a little bit and bury the tip of the hook, and you've got a perfect run straight worm right there. And that thing will look awesome in the water whenever you're pulling it down through, and it swims like a snake or like a fluke or however you want to do it. But even if it's 4 foot or 5 foot, I still consider that shallow. So you pull it over a log and then just let it fall. This thing will actually fall backwards a lot of the time. So you pull it forward head up, and it will fall back until that hook weight comes in. So this thing, and you can take this and skip it so far under trees, under docks. This thing skips so good. And I always do it with a spinning reel, so you definitely want to give these a try. So I'm going to come out here and see if I can't maybe catch 1 or 2 bass, maybe with the time that I've got, see if we can get one on film. All right, let's toss this thing over here in this little lily pad field and see if we can maybe get one to come out. Something to hit, maybe. Don't tell me I'm already hung up. These things are so weedless. Looks like these lily pads are starting to die off finally. It really acts like a fluke. And if you pull it in and give it a little bit of rod tip movement, it really comes in like it's a snake or like it's a swimming on top action. That is one of the reasons I love it so much. But when you let it just kind of drop, it's basically just like a wacky rig on the fall. So these things are so versatile. Of course, you can do it with the Senko or some other kind of style bait, but I prefer to use this pink because you can really see it a lot better. Oh, there was a big one that just tried to hit it. Cool. is. Oh God, that's a good one. Oh, please tell me I still got it. No, I never hooked it. Dang it. Dang it. That is a big fish. Dude, oh gosh, I gotta do that again. Holy crap. That is a big one over there. All right, I'm gonna show you a couple ways that I like to work this thing. Okay. You can work it just like this, like it's a quick, if it's real shallow, you can work this thing right through the shallows really quickly doing it this way. And it just kind of skips around. Or you can, like it's a fluke, pop it, let it set. And it actually will fall almost like a wacky rig until that hook takes over that head and it starts to fall head first. And those are really the only two ways I like to fish it. I'll just throw it out there and let it sit, or I'll work it slow with little twitches and pops, or I'll work it really fast in a swimming action. And you kind of figure out what's going on with the fish by trying those different ways of fishing with it. I may do a couple fast pops and then stop it, or a couple fast pops and stop it. A lot of times when I do those fast pops and pull it across a tree is when those fish will actually hit it, and then I'll let it settle, and it'll almost settle like it's going to go back under the log. And that's really the three ways I like to fish it. Would be the fast twitch and then kill it, or the fluke, like just like a soft jerk bait. Just kind of 1, 2, 3, kill it. 1, 2, 3, kill it. 1, 2, kill it. Or just the fast and then kill it and let it settle like it's a wacky rigged worm, basically. I am going to show the skipability of this thing. I am one of the weird ones. I do not cast with my finger under like this. I've just learned through the years that I cast just like this. So hand to reel, hand to line. I don't know why I do it, but I do. Fly fishermen, they fish with this other hand, you know, using the line to pull it off. So it's kind of similar in a way. So it's just everything. And then if I'm flipping, I can grab it again and I can just toss it out there. So that's kind of how I do it. But when I actually go to toss this thing to try to skip it, I take that line in my hand and I'm getting that circular motion going sideways. And I find my release point, which is going to be low right there. And it'll skip so far. It skips so well. You can skip this thing multiple times up under branches. Just like that. I mean, what was that? That was probably 15 feet. Well, I wasn't planning on doing much fishing with this, but I just wanted to toss it out a couple times and show y'all a little bit of fishing with the GoPro on over in these lily pads that are next to me. And there is a monster fish over there, and it did exactly what I thought. It hit twice, but I couldn't get it at inhale, and I didn't fish for very long at all. I just wanted to show you guys a little bit on how it worked, but that is exactly what those fish do. It sounded like a toilet bowl sucking it in whenever that thing went to hit it, whenever it was coming across those lilies. But let me know if you guys do go use this. I would love to hear from you, and I'd love to hear if you catch some fish, if you do go and try it. And subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video if you like it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.